Hey, what is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Well, of course, as you can tell from the title, we will be going over Healthier Choices Management Corp, ticker symbol HCMC again. Now, you guys, if you have been keeping up with these videos, you know that y'all have been absolutely loving this company. I mean, if we just look at the overall volume of people flooding into these HCMC videos, it's absolutely ridiculous compared to some of the other ones. I mean, 6.6 thousand, 9.2 thousand. This is actually my highest viewed video ever at the moment. 4.4 thousand. I uploaded one 3 days ago. 6,000. Let's see, 6.8 thousand. It's ridiculous. 4.8 thousand yesterday. You guys have been absolutely loving this company. Now, if you do want to stay as up to date as possible whenever it does come to this company, you can definitely consider heading over to my Patreon. Any piece of news that we do get, any opinions that I generate about this company, if my ideas around, these videos come around, or if anything changes in regards to HCMC, I always let them know in the Discord and through the Patreon. So definitely go down to the link in the description, head over to the Patreon if you want to also just support the channel, but stay as up to date about your favorite stocks and about all of my trades. That is the place to go. Now, I also did want to happily announce that yesterday I was confirmed as an affiliate for Webull. So if you do want to get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,850, use the referral link that is in my description. It will bring you over to Webull, sign up, deposit $100, and you literally just get free money. It's absolutely amazing. Webull, absolutely love this platform. But with that being said, let's go ahead and let's take a look at HCMC, as it has been a very interesting couple of days. Now, we have seen them become very, very stagnant over the week. I think a lot of this can be contributed to the fact that we're seeing them getting restricted on many platforms. I know some platforms have eased up a little bit, like Fidelity, so it has been a back and forth battle over the last couple of days between buyers and sellers. I do believe that this company still has a lot of potential, and I think that the market is now simply just waiting for some news, as we haven't gotten news from them over the last week or so, and the last time we did get news, it really started to spark this thing up. So it has been trading between 0.0016 and 0.0018 over the last couple of days, and it hasn't really moved too much since then, other than the first day that it did get limited. But what I did want to talk about in today's video is something that everyone has asked me about. I've gotten a lot of messages, especially through my Patreon, and I felt like it'd just be a good idea to bring it to you all and talk about what exactly will happen and how does a lawsuit affect a company. Because as we have seen, that the biggest catalyst for this company at the moment is a lawsuit in which they are undergoing with Philip Morris. A lot of people believe that this could potentially be some extreme patent infringement, as it does appear that way, but there is there are still some steps to take to get through this lawsuit, and a lot of people believe that they may come up to some type of settlement or receive some type of royalties, and everyone wants to know what this will do to their stock price and how it should affect HCMC overall. So here we are on Zacks.com. It's an article basically just about lawsuits and their effect on stock prices. And there's 2 situations right here that kind of just briefly summarize the 2 results that we are going to see from this lawsuit. Well, the first one is going to be losing a lawsuit. Now, this can apply to either side. I mean, either side could lose this lawsuit. If they don't come to some type of settlement, or if they really just fully go through this entire process, someone's going to lose, right? Could be Philip Morris, could be HCMC. Right here it says that just because a company loses a lawsuit doesn't mean that its stock will necessarily fall. Whether the loss affects its stock depends on how much the company will have to publicly cares about the case. In 2010, the Walt Disney Company lost a lawsuit filed by Celador International based on how it compensated Celador for its intellectual property rights for the show, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. After the decision, shares in Disney stock actually went up by 4%, and the public really wasn't interested in the lawsuit, so no negative media buzz surfaced to spook investors and hurt the stock. Well, the thing that I will say about this one is I do believe that whoever loses this lawsuit will probably see a pretty good dip. I wouldn't expect that this is going to go over well for the loser, and the reason I say that is because of the complete opposite right here is happening with HCMC and Philip Morris. Right here it says that the public really wasn't interested in the lawsuit, so no negative media buzz surfaced to spook investors and hurt the stock. Well, the difference here is that there is loads of media buzz between this HCMC and Philip Morris lawsuit, and if we do see a loser basically in a sense get announced from this lawsuit, I think that since there is so much media buzz that it's going to spook investors from either side. I would say it would have a more drastic effect on HCMC if they do lose than it would be against Philip Morris, but I would say that overall we are going to see just an official, okay, you lost, this is or is not patent infringement. Now, this is some good news, especially if you're investing in HCMC. It says that whether a company is a defendant or a plaintiff, its stock price would typically go up if it wins a lawsuit. This is especially true if the lawsuit is public and helps solidify the company's future in a particular part of the market. And so we're going to talk about this in a second here. So let me go ahead. I'm just going to leave this highlighted. For example, in August 2012, Apple won a lawsuit against Samsung based on patent infringement. Now, this sounds really familiar, doesn't it? Apple's stock price went up almost immediately after the judgment was announced. The win scared off other companies thinking of suing Apple or infringing on its patents, and it also helped pave the way for licensing profits that Apple would make in the future. So there's a couple things about this, right? So one thing that I do believe that if HCMC is going to be able to win this lawsuit against Philip Morris, I said it in the last couple videos that I think it solidifies its position within this market, right? Because the e-cigarette, the vaping market is one that is consistently growing. It is growing loads and loads at a very strong compounded annual growth rate every single year, right? So I do believe that if they're capable of saying, look, this is our technology and we're not just going to let anyone just take it. We're not going to let anyone use it. We're not going to let anyone infringe on our patents, as this is our technology. And if you do decide to do so, we are very, very capable and willing to take you to court. And I do think that that, again, solidifies their position, as especially if they can win such a large lawsuit against such a large company. So I do agree here that it says that if it will help solidify the company's future in a particular part of the market, that solidifies its part of the market within its industry. And I do think that would be fantastic for HCMC. Now, there is another thing down here, right here. Let's go ahead and highlight that. It said that it also helped pave the way for licensing profits that Apple would make in the future. I think there are so many different companies who are using products very, very similar to this one, that if they are capable of winning this lawsuit against Philip Morris, that it will allow them to expedite any future patent infringement processes and be like, okay, look, just like Philip Morris, your technology is way too close to our patent. It's almost exact. We have this 170 patent, and we believe that it applies to so many different products that we can either take this to court, like we did against Philip Morris, or we can work out some type of licensing deal. Totally up to you, and who knows where that's going to go. So I'm very excited to see how this is going to go. I mean, even with it saying that the win scared off other companies thinking of suing Apple or infringing on its products, this lawsuit itself could put up a barrier for entry for any other companies, simply for the fact that they're not going to be able to just use technology that is so similar to their products and their technology, because they're worried that they're going to get sued by HCMC, a company who could have potentially beaten a very large company in a lawsuit like Philip Morris International. Now we do have another example on grayb.com that just kind of speaks about it in a different light. So they say that in 2012, Ericsson sued Samsung for infringement of patents involving technology for clear voice transmission, network efficiency, and touchscreen functions. Well, in 2014, Ericsson won the lawsuit, and as a result, Ericsson's stock price rose 2.4% by 11:23 GMT. In a day, Ericsson gained 5%, while the stock price of Samsung fell by 1.2%. The positive impact of patent infringement is always greater than the negative impact because of the fact that one firm is suing another firm for infringement. It means that the technology is doing well. So this does bring us to the conclusion, okay, well, what if Philip Morris does decide to do some type of licensing deal or some type of settlement plus licensing or some type of royalty deal? Whenever it comes to the stock price, it could also be beneficial. It says here that when Ericsson signed a patent licensing deal with Apple in 2015, its shares rose by 8%. The licensing deal clearly meant more influx of cash, leading to a higher valuation, which directly reflected on the rise in stock prices. According to a Reuters report dated December 21st, 2015, the estimated overall revenue from intellectual property rights in 2015, according to Ericsson, hit 13 to 14 billion crowns, or between 1.5 and 1.6 billion dollars, up from 9.9 billion in 2014 as a result of the agreement. So I do believe that these two articles themselves, and honestly the rest of the articles that I have read and the rest of the reports that I have read, basically all say the same thing as these two articles. So I did want to make sure I got both of these examples in, just to show two little somewhat similar but a little bit different examples of what this lawsuit can lead to for HCMC. You know, a lot of people are like, well, realistically, like, is a lawsuit even going to change the stock price? Like, what effect does it have on the stock price? And I think a lot of the reason as to why it can cause it to go up a lot is simply going to be for the fact that if they come to some type of royalty, or if they come to some type of settlement, that is going to, like we see right here, it is going to lead a more influx of cash, leading to a higher valuation, which directly reflected on the stock price rise. So that means that we are going to be seeing an influx of cash, especially if you think about the fact that Philip Morris, the product in which they are being sued over, has over 14 million users. So if they are capable of getting a piece of that every single time they sell one, or every time they re-up that service, that we could see their overall influx of cash grow substantially, increasing their valuation. So again, I do believe that this is going to be very, very important for the company. And now, of course, I would say that it is a little bit risky, considering the fact that this is the only major catalyst that we are seeing is going to be an entire lawsuit. I mean, the fact that that's the only catalyst, it's a little bit worrying in a sense that is only temporary. I mean, eventually this lawsuit will be over, and I think we are going to see some type of volatility within the stock price over the next couple of weeks, or until we at least get some more news. Well, I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, you can let me know by smashing that like button. If you do want to get in and start your own investment journey, again, don't forget to head down to the link in my description over to the Webull referral code, as you can win up to $1,850. With that being said, I do post on this channel 2 to 3 times every single day, and I can't wait to see you all soon. Peace.